Okay, so it's not the most exciting game of the season. It feels a little bit pointless because Ipswich are already down. Let's face it. If it's not mathematically done today, I think it will be next time they play. But either way, they're gone. And of course, for Arsenal, winning the Premier League is almost impossible. Very, very unlikely. I think Liverpool would need to lose pretty much every game. And we're not going to drop out of the top four. So, yeah, it feels like a little bit of a pointless game. But do you know what? 4-0. Hopefully, fingers crossed, no injuries. Saka has come off at the end and they've put some ice around his Achilles after one of the most disgusting tackles, which resulted in a red card. Yes, that's right, guys. A red card in a game featuring Arsenal that didn't go to an Arsenal player. How has that happened then? Anyway, it was a shocking tackle from Leif Davis. Absolutely no denying it. It's reckless, it's dangerous, and he had to go. At the time, I actually thought it might have been just a little bit harsh because it obviously wasn't on purpose. I don't think he's intended to stamp on Saka's Achilles, which is, the part behind the ankle down to the base of the foot. It's a really, really nasty late challenge and studs as well. It's 100% a red card, having watched it many times now. No arguments. And it just feels so pointless, just like this game was pointless. That challenge was pointless as well. They were 2-0 down. Obviously, we were going to go on to win this game pretty comfortably. They're not fighting for much. Just feels stupid. It really does. And weirdly enough, they actually had a little bit of momentum in the game here. Look, right before that red card. Not that that would have changed anything. It's one of the most dominant teams or team performances you're going to see all season long. I think in the end, yeah, look, 24 shots to 4. I knew we had 24 shots. It's ridiculous, really. We could have had 5, 6, 7 goals, but the most disappointing thing for me is that Saka has potentially picked up a little bit of an issue there. Hopefully, it's just bruising and the ice is there just to be a bit of a precautionary thing. It's 100% going to leave a bruise, and he might have had a cut. I don't know. It's just a really nasty challenge. But from that moment, I actually thought Ipswich were doing okay with 10 men. And I might have said that in my stream about 60 minutes in. I was thinking, wow, okay, it's still 2-0. They haven't conceded another one. And then, of course, they conceded another 2. We do need to talk about the way we set up today. Excuse me, still coughing. Zinchenko playing at left back today. Interesting, I think. I don't know why Lewis Skelly didn't start today, other than maybe just being precautionary again, just resting him a little bit, not giving him a full 90 minutes. And I thought Zinchenko did really well. But, look at the team here. And if you watch the game, like I did, you'll say it as well. Everyone was just good today. And if they weren't good, they were brilliant. There was no bad, underperforming performances. It was actually a solid performance from everyone. Ødegaard's been given the highest rating here on FOTMob, but I'm surprised that Trossard hasn't with the 2 goals. Rice was fantastic, playing in his original number 6 role today and did a really good job. Of course, Zinchenko definitely was stepping into this area and helping, but Marino next to him on the left side, Ødegaard on the right side. And do you know what? At one point, we had Zinchenko and Lewis Skelly in midfield with Ødegaard, so that was interesting to see. Now, Saka, I mean, I don't want to say he had a bad game, because no one had a bad game, right? But by Saka's standards, and I don't know if it's because of the challenge on his, I think it was his right ankle, the Achilles. After that, he missed 2 or 3 really, really good chances. So I would have really liked to seen at least 1 goal actually be in this bottom right area, wouldn't it? We've got Trossard with 2, Martinelli with 1. Waneri came on and scored. I would have just loved Saka to have got one as well. He deserved a goal. He really did. But yeah, one with his right foot, one with his left foot that went wide of the post. For his standards, that was quite poor. But he created chances. Technically, he had an assist robbed by Ødegaard. Saka found himself in this position. He's cut it across into the box, into Trossard. And Ødegaard has tried to control it, but it's just gone under his studs. But it has taken a touch. So technically, Ødegaard got the assist, which might not be fair. And the reason I'm talking about that is because most people will remember this. Hopefully, if you're an Arsenal fan, you'll remember this. But before Saka got his really nasty injury that kept him out for months, he had the most assists in the Premier League, and he was absolutely on course to break the record, which is 20, set by Thierry Henry, and I think De Bruyne got 20 as well, or was it Cesc Fabregas got 20? But the record hasn't been beaten for a long time, and Saka was on course. But of course, the injury has ruined that. I think he's up to 12 assists. Not sure. Will it say it here? No, but I would have just loved to see him get a load of assists again and almost break the record. And we can all just say, well, if it wasn't for the injury, he would have got it. I thought Ben White was really good considering he's not had many minutes recently. Kivior, again, superb. Raya didn't have much to do, but when he was called upon, did his job well. Martinelli getting another goal, 2 in a row now. Fantastic to see that. And Trossard did very well as a number 9. Could have had a hat-trick. Marino, that assist. Oh my God, the flick. If you haven't seen the highlights yet, go and watch them because that assist is up there for me. It is such a lovely, delightful flick. I'm not going to go ahead and look, the Premier League tweeted this. They said, could that be the assist of the season? Well, no, but it was superb. It really was. Let's have a quick chat about Ipswich because, I mean, they're a championship level team. There's no doubt about it. But having watched them again today, and of course, they've had the red card, but even before that, I've watched Arsenal play against every team in the Premier League this season, and other than maybe Southampton, who weren't awful against us, but I looked at the Ipswich performance and just thought that they might struggle to bounce back up again. That did, to me, right? Leeds, Burnley, Sheffield United, even at times I would say Sunderland, you know, some of the other championship squads or teams have played at a higher level, but this was against Arsenal. It's tricky. I'm just making the point that I don't actually know if Ipswich would be a team that are just going to be a yo-yo and just come back up again. I actually think the quality I saw today, defensively, Arsenal didn't leave second gear, and it was almost 5-6, 7-0. It was poor, and I've got no idea why, but Liam Delap didn't start. A little bit of a strange one. But of course, you know, Clark is a good young player. He had to come off when they got the red card. So I'm not going to judge. It's a difficult one to judge because it's tough. It's a tough game against a really strong Arsenal side that have just come off a huge win in Europe. So I get it, but they looked really poor. And they're obviously going to lose Liam Delap. 30 million release clause in the summer. He will absolutely be gone. And Cisco's only on loan from Brighton. I don't know. I think it's going to be really tough. Quick word on our subs. Lewis Skelly was fantastic when he came on. Waneri got his goal. Tierney made his 100th Premier League appearance for Arsenal. Yes, it's taken him almost 3 decades, it feels like, to reach that. Sterling came on and did absolutely nothing, to be fair. And we finally got to see Butler Oyedeji. He's had so many non-appearances, but on the subs, you know, on the bench. He's been on the bench, but not come on. And actually could have scored. He actually could have scored. He's so small. I couldn't believe it. At the end, he was kind of celebrating with Waneri. And how tall is Oyedeji? He must be like 5'5". He's so small. And he's 22, so he's not even that young, you know? I don't think he's going to have a massive future at Arsenal, if I'm honest. And I think it's clear he's getting into this matchday squad because we need the numbers. But he hasn't been coming on for a reason. So it was good to see him, and he looked all right. He definitely looked all right. And there you can see our recent form. But let's go into our fixture list, because, of course, in 9 days, it's the big one against PSG. We've got Crystal Palace up next on Wednesday. I think that counts as part of this match week. So if you're doing FPL, I hope you put an Arsenal player in, or a couple of Arsenal players in. And this is why I don't do FPL, by the way, because I can't stand having other teams' players and wanting them to do well. It doesn't compute to me. I would just want a full Arsenal team if I could. But anyway, we should be beating Crystal Palace. They've been in some pretty horrendous form. 10 goals conceded in 3 games. Ouch. Really, really not good defending from them. And we will absolutely need to Just make sure no injuries, nothing just embarrassing, like an embarrassing loss. No, because obviously we've got the semi-finals against PSG coming up. Brighton sandwiched between the big one at Anfield, which I hoped would be, a title decider, but that's obviously not going to be the case. We're actually going to have to give them a guard of honour, I think, there. So not ideal. And then, of course, we've got Newcastle, Southampton, and then we'll be facing either Inter or Barcelona in the Champions League final, should we get there. Great result today. And just because we can take a look, Chelsea turned it around very late against Fulham. Wolves have beaten United. And we've got Liverpool versus Leicester. Liverpool could have won the title today if we lost to Ipswich and they beat Leicester. But that's obviously not going to happen. So it is going to go to next weekend. And, I mean, it's inevitable. Liverpool are going to win the title. Fair play to them. They deserve it. I think they've had a very lucky season compared to Arsenal with some incredibly baffling VAR and referee decisions, general luck of injuries and the types of players that have been out, the length of injuries. But I think based off everything, Liverpool are worthy winners. We just have to accept that and full focus on the Champions League. But thank you for watching, guys. Hopefully you've enjoyed my review, and I will see you for Crystal Palace on Wednesday night, where I'll be streaming it again.